A Scottish gambler convinced France to stake its entire fortune on a single idea. And it worked, until it catastrophically didn't. Walk with me through this moment. Paris, 1716. France is bankrupt. The Sun King, Louis Roman XIV, has spent decades on wars and palaces. The royal treasury is empty. Debts pile higher than the Seine. The government owes more money than it can possibly collect in taxes for the next 100 years. This is the starting point, the desperation that made what comes next seem almost rational. Enter John Law, a man from Edinburgh, a mathematician who'd fled Scotland after killing a rival in a duel. He gambled across Europe, lost fortunes, and somewhere in that chaos, he became obsessed with an idea. Currency doesn't need to be gold. It can be paper, backed by faith, backed by future profit. This wasn't entirely new thinking, but Law saw something others didn't. He saw how to weaponize it. 1716. Law pitches the French government on his plan. Create a bank, issue paper money. Use that money to buy colonial land in Louisiana, raw, unexplored, supposedly vast with gold and resources. The profit from colonies will be astronomical. The paper money will be backed by those profits. France's debt disappears. Everyone wins. The Duke of Orleans, regent for the young Louis Roman XV, listens. He's desperate. He approves it. What happens next matters because the people involved didn't yet know how it would end. That's the key tension here. Everyone believed. In 1717, Law founds the bank Buynowpaylater. He prints paper notes. They circulate, they work. Transactions happen. Merchants accept them. Creditors get paid. The government breathes. For the first time in years, things feel possible. But there's a problem hiding inside the success. Louisiana isn't what the marketing promised. There's no gold rush. The land is swamp and disease. The colonists die faster than they arrive. The profits Law predicted, the entire foundation of his currency, don't materialize. But nobody knows this yet, not clearly. News travels slowly. Rumors travel slower. Meanwhile, Law expands. In 1718, the Bank Buynowpaylater becomes the Bank Royale. It's now the official state bank. Law creates the Mississippi Company to manage colonial ventures and trade. He issues stock. Parisians buy it. Nobles buy it. Clergy buy it. Everyone wants a piece of Louisiana's fortune. The stock price climbs and climbs and climbs. 1719. This is the peak year. Law becomes the most powerful financial man in France. He controls the bank. He controls colonial trade. He's printing money at will. Stock prices are now 50 times higher than they were 2 years ago. Servants are buying shares. Widows are investing their inheritance. Beggars are somehow scraping together money to gamble on Mississippi stock. There's a street in Paris called Rue Quincampoix. It becomes the center of the mania. Crowds pack it day and night. They trade shares outside buildings in carriages in the mud. Prices move by rumor. A whisper about a Louisiana gold discovery sends stock up. A ship arrival or a ship delay sends it down. The entire system runs on hope and information gaps. People are making fortunes on paper, literally and figuratively. But inside Law's offices, there's a different story. He knows, or suspects, that the Mississippi colony isn't generating the wealth he promised. The bank's reserves of actual gold and silver are thin. He's printing paper money faster than any real asset backs it. It's a house of cards. But stopping now means admitting fraud. So he does what desperate men do. He doubles down. Early 1720. Law tries to stabilize prices by buying up stock himself, using the bank's money. It works temporarily. Prices hold. But the cracks are widening. Rumors start circulating about the bank's true reserves. Some wealthy investors begin converting their paper notes back into gold, a few at first, then more, then a flood. May 1720. The collapse begins in earnest. Panic spreads through Paris like plague. Everyone who holds paper money wants to exchange it for gold right now. But the Bank Royale doesn't have enough gold. It never did. Law tries to limit withdrawals. He issues decrees. He orders banks to refuse to exchange paper for specie. It's too late. Trust is gone. The Mississippi Company's stock, which had soared to astronomical heights, collapses. People who'd mortgaged their homes, sold their land, borrowed money, they're ruined. A widow who'd invested her life savings loses everything in days. A nobleman finds himself bankrupt. Families are destroyed. Suicides increase. The social fabric tears. By December 1720, the Mississippi bubble has fully burst. Law flees France. He goes to Italy, then England, then dies in Venice in 1729, a broken man. The Bank Royale is dissolved. The Mississippi Company is liquidated. Paper money, law's grand innovation, becomes toxic. The French government swears off it for decades. Here's what historians often miss. Law wasn't wrong about the concept of paper money. We use it now. Governments print it constantly. The idea was sound. What law got wrong was the same thing every speculator gets wrong. He confused the mechanism with the reality. He had the tool. He didn't have the assets to back it. And he let ambition override honesty. The Mississippi bubble teaches us something uncomfortable. Financial systems run on collective belief. They work when everyone trusts the foundation is real. They collapse when that trust cracks. Law didn't invent fraud. He just industrialized it. He showed how a sophisticated system, a bank, a company, paper currency, stock markets, could be weaponized by a single person with ambition and no guardrails. France learned a hard lesson. You can't print your way out of debt if there's nothing backing the printing. The bubble lasted 4 years. Thousands lost their fortunes. The economy didn't recover for decades. And the word Mississippi became shorthand for financial disaster across Europe. One man's idea. One nation's ruin. One moment in time that still matters today. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. If you want to understand how credit systems actually work, how they're designed, how they fail, and what that means for you, subscribe. There's a new deep dive into lending, bubbles, and financial history every week. Subscribe. There's a new deep dive into how financial systems actually work and how they break every week. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.